Relentless worker. I joked with him the other day. He's had those guys in 7 days a week, about 12 hours a day. So he's been. It's like, even a coach takes Friday night and takes the wife out once in a while. So he's relentless in that regard. In any situation, you're always going to try to improve the roster, and you're always going to evaluate everything that you do. And so as far as what we're going to attack, we'll keep that in house. But there's never going to be a situation where we're not trying to improve in any facet of football. No. If anything, it almost cost Dave the job. We interviewed about 8 linebackers coaches, and but Dave was clearly the best one. He's coached some great linebackers in this league, and we're excited to have him aboard. There's workouts, there's talking ball with these guys. There's a lot of things to be done, and it's not just going to happen here. There's pro days, there's 30 visits, there's conversations on Zoom that we're going to be able to have with these young men, and but it's all encompassing. It's not just their ability to run a 40. It's their ability to understand the game of football, and so there's a lot of things that'll go on between now and draft day. No, that's a really good question. There's always going to be a push for that. I know the league is working relentlessly to try to figure it out. Do I have an answer for you right now? I don't. But I know the people at the league office, it's very important to them. I know it's important to the owners of this league, and I know that they'll continually try to figure it out.
Before we get back to head coach Robert Saleh, I thought I'd just remind you guys to hit that sub button because we keep you up to date with all your Titans news and rumors. We have boots on the ground at the NFL Combine giving you coverage all week long so we can hear from Mike Borgonzi, so we can hear from Robert Saleh, and it does not stop there. We have OTAs. Free agency is right around the corner. The draft mini camp, you know the deal, and then soon enough, training camp and the season will begin. We want to also hear from you. We love hearing from the fans. Keep you guys interactive with the channel because that's what makes this channel great. And also just try to keep you guys videos 365 days a year. So go ahead, hit that sub button right now, ladies and gentlemen, so you don't miss out on any Titans news and rumors. Now let's get back to Coach Saleh.
San Francisco, it's a championship organization, championship ownership, championship head coach, championship GM, championship everything. And, just to be able to go back there, having been a head coach, and to go back there to piece the puzzle together of what a championship organization looks like and how it operates. Just grateful that I was given that opportunity to do that again, and everything that I learned, obviously, hopefully we can take it to this next step. A lot of people know this already. Gus is like a second dad to me. He's had such an amazing impact on my life, and not to mention he is in my opinion, one of the better D coordinators in all of football. And so to be able to have him on staff, especially through this cycle where there was a lot of competition for his services, is a blessing for all of us. So. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do from a drill standpoint. There's tape. We have a style of tackling that we developed a while back ago with Pete Carroll over in Seattle that has been good to us. And we're a shoulder leverage tackling team that we took from rugby, which takes the head out of the game. And so there's certain things that we'll teach and we'll encourage, and there's things that we'll rep constantly to get guys better at it.
Hey, Robert.
I don't know if fit's the right word. There's a a lot of guys in our system have taken the mold of different shapes, sizes. For us, we just look for guys who can play the game of football and play it at a very, very high level. And there are things that are non-negotiables, but those are very rare and few in between. Say it one more time. Well, it's a long answer. There's a lot of things that you learn on the job. I've said it to a bunch of people before. There's no manual for a first time at anything you do. Like there's no first time manual for you too. And I'm sure you can look back at your first day and recognize that you're a lot better today than you were back then. And I could say that I'm much more prepared now than I've ever been, and just looking forward to this opportunity. Yeah, with a young man like Femi, it wasn't that he was just being evaluated by 3-4 teams. We evaluated him as a 4-3 defensive end whose hand was in the ground. And, for him, he's got all the talent in the world. He's got length, he's got speed, he's got pass rush ability, he plays with violence. He's a good football player. And, for him, it's just going to be transferring to getting your hand in the ground and going vertical every snap rather than having to think about coverages and all that. So, obviously, there's going to be a learning curve for him even in that role, and there's going to be a lot of coaching and a lot of work on his part to get himself better every single day. And I think he's got the mindset and the physical ability to do that.
Hey, Robert, on that note, some other young players on the defense, a guy like T'Vondre Sweat, a lot of people have talked about how he fits in your defense. A guy like Kevin Winston, who did a little big nickel last year, that's something that, you'll work in those 3 safety packages. How would you say a guy like T'Vondre Sweat and Kevin Winston fit within your defensive scheme?
Yeah, I'll address Sweat first. We had a guy in 2000, I want to say 20, I think it was 23, maybe 22, L. Woods, who was just as big, just as fast, just as fleet of foot. Obviously it's going to be we're going to ask things of him that are different than what he's done in the past. But one thing he has shown on tape is he can get numbers to numbers, which we need our D-line to be able to do. They need to be able to run, and that is something that he can do. He's a big man. He's got much faster feet than people realize. Is it going to be easy for him? It's not. It is a lot of work. It is physically demanding to play D-line in our system. But I do think he's up to the task. I've had great conversations with him, and I'm excited to see him get to work.
Robert, in 2021, you became the first Muslim head coach in NFL history. Now that you took the head coach position again, what does that really mean to you, and how do you take that to Tennessee?
It's cool. Forgive me, I'm not very good at talking about myself, but I recognize the impact in my community, and I appreciate the impact that it has. And if there's anything I could ever do to pay it forward to my community, I'd always be there to do that. So. Well, that's the thing. Is like it's not just their ability to run a 40, Paul. It's being able to absorb the playbook and play without thought. It's going to be our job as coaches to be able to extract every ounce of their physical ability, and that's going to start in phase 1 of OTAs, just getting them getting them in the meeting rooms, then to the grass, and then in the practice, and getting them to see as many pitchers as they can, get them as many reps as they can to allow them to play as fast as they possibly could. So again, it's a team thing. It's not just their ability to go out there and run around and play fast. It's our ability to allow them to unlock all their physical ability as players.
Guys are ascending players maybe that can come in and still fill a career contract, to fill holes now with maybe some older guys just to get the roster up to the level it needs to be.
You're talking about free agency? You're looking every which way you can. You're not just going to you never want to limit yourself or put yourself in a box with regards to what you're looking for. If it's a young guy, it's a young guy. If it's a veteran, it's a veteran. If they can play the game of football and they can improve your roster, you're always going to take a peek at it.
Robert, as we see the running back position being devalued, where are you as far as how important running back is to offense, especially this year, a guy like Jeremiah Love has been top 5?
Yeah, I just had a year with Christian McCaffrey. I think he had over 400 touches. So. If they're 3-down players and they can impact the game and they can create mismatches out on the perimeter as well as run the ball the way they do, guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian, I'm sure there's a few more. They're tremendous assets to the football team.
What conversations have you had with Nate and Brownlee in the last month or two? And just how do you go about developing a scheme when guys like that kind of toss up if they'll
We've had many conversations, and to be honest, you're going to continue to push the scheme, and you're going to continue to develop what you have. And like I said, we're going to go through OTAs, we're going to go through training camp, and no different than the players learning us, we're going to learn our players, and we'll continue to tweak our scheme based on who we have and what they're capable of doing, and we're just going to keep fine-tuning it until kickoff of week 1.
Robert, what does a successful offseason look like for you for Cam specifically?
For Cam? You know what? For Cam, it's always going to come down to. I said it before. We're going to take him back to his rookie year, just to square one. A lot of these rookies, when they get into when they join the team, you're already halfway through phase 2, and you're kind of playing. You're in a sprint to try to get them ready for training camp and for week 1. We can kind of take more of a marathon approach with them, where we've got phase 1, we've got phase 2, we've got different ways we can approach them between now and week 1 to get them prepared. So just taking those baby steps, learning everything it takes to be a quarterback, not just on the field but off the field. So again, just him being his best and getting better every single day will be good enough.
How do you assess the state of the AFC South? More about
one thing I appreciate, he's in there every day, he's working out, but I don't think there's a day that he goes by without popping in, saying hello. I think he knows everybody in the building's name, which I think is impressive for a young quarterback, for a young man just in general. He's very personable. It is very important to him. That building is very, very, very important to him, and you can tell that he wants to lead it, and he's learning every single day what it takes to be a leader. And there's no doubt, I've said it before, a man who's built the way he is, who's wired the way he is, who works the way he does, it's very rare that those people don't find success, so we're excited to get to work with them.
When you're evaluating the edge position, how much is arm length factor in that?
Again, that's really every position. Arm length is always going to be key, especially with a team like us that plays more of a zone style. Those long arms close up passing windows and do all the different things that we ask them to do. But so it's really every position. Arm length is always a big deal. Yeah, Rudy was. If Gus wasn't our coordinator, he was going to be our coordinator here. Outstanding human, outstanding individual. He's going to bring so much juice and energy. He is as authentic gets. He's elite with regards to the pass game and from a defensive standpoint. And he's walking into a situation where he's already got an elite staff in place. Guys like Tarver and their DB room and their D-line coach, they're outstanding. And I think he's going to be a fantastic addition. Really proud of him. Really excited for his out. Mike Lafleur. Again, he's an outstanding football mind. I thought he did a great job when he was our coordinator. Thought he's done a great job just evolving his ability to coach the game and evolving his scheme with Sean. I thought they did a great job over there. Obviously, Stafford is a quarterback, but what they did offensively was special, especially this year. But you're getting a guy who understands the game of football, understands people. Really looking forward to seeing how he does. I think some of it matters, but it's not the only thing that matters. There's relationships that were built in the draft. There's through the draft process. There's relationships that were built just through time in the NFL. But is it part of it? For sure. Is it the only thing? It's not.
What would you say your relationship is developing since you've become head coach of the Titans with Jefferson and Campbell?
You know, the best we can with the rules of the off season, where communication is limited to hello and goodbye for the most part. But like I said, Cam's been in there every day. I've been able to meet up with Jeffrey a couple of times, but I'm just looking forward to getting these guys in here full time so we can continue to build our relationships. You're looking for a guy who can come in and win football games for you if something happens to the starter. A guy who's going to be a tremendous, who's going to support the starter, who's going to support his team, who's going to prepare like a starter. So you're really looking for another starter. So. Just met him. Had a really good conversation with him the other day. My one exposure to him was back in 24. We played him in week 2. I do think he's got tremendous talent. He's got tremendous size, tremendous arm strength. Again, I'm looking forward to him. I'll tell you guys the same thing I told him. Just attack this offseason, have the best offseason of your life, and compete your butt off, and let's see what happens. But really looking forward to him being part of this football team. Oh, yeah. I know Houston's going to punch you in the mouth. I know Jacksonville's playing with a lot of confidence, and they've got a head coach, an offense, and a defense and a special teams unit that complements each other very, very well. And I know Indianapolis, before the injuries, was probably the bell of the ball. Was running the division there for a minute. So it is ultra competitive. 3 tremendous head coaches, 3 tremendous staffs. So we're looking forward to getting our opportunity to compete.